If you've ever bought or sold a house, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the closing, right? It's that final nail-biting stretch where everything is supposed to just come together. But more often than not, it just feels like a total black box. A crazy whirlwind of emails, phone calls, and just anxious waiting. So today, let's pry open that box and see how automation is finally starting to bring some much-needed light into one of life's biggest and most stressful transactions.
You know, it's a great question. Because for a lot of people, it's not actually finding the perfect house or even negotiating the price. The real stress comes from the closing process itself. It's that period of total uncertainty where you're just constantly wondering what is going on right now.
And hey, it's no wonder it's so chaotic. Think about it. You've got buyers, sellers, real estate agents, lenders, all these different people trying to coordinate dozens of really complex tasks. And with hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, the one question that is on everybody's mind is, where do things stand? That communication gap, well, that's where all the friction and anxiety comes from.
And this is a feeling that's echoed all across the industry. I love this quote, "Clarity isn't optional." It's so true. When the stakes are this high, ambiguity is your worst enemy. And this fundamental need for transparency, that's what's driving this whole new wave of innovation in real estate tech.
So how do you fix this communication chaos? Well, the answer, more and more, is automation. So let's take a look at how some new tools are aiming to keep everybody on the same page without, and this is key, adding more work for the people actually managing the deal.
The core idea here is brilliantly simple. Instead of people having to constantly pull information, sending those just checking in emails or making endless phone calls, the system automatically pushes the updates out. So whenever a key milestone is hit, boom, an update gets sent to everyone involved. It totally flips the model from being reactive to being proactive.
Okay, so that sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually work in the real world? Let's dive into the mechanics of how a tracker like this really functions behind the scenes.
This workflow really shows how seamless it can be. It all starts on the left, right where the work is actually happening. A professional at the title company marks a task as done in their software. That one little click fires off a trigger, which instantly sends an update out to everybody. And finally, their personal dashboard gets updated in real time, so everyone has the latest info. It's just a direct, automated flow of information, from the source of truth to the people who need it most.
And this right here is the secret sauce that makes it all work. This isn't some separate app that somebody has to remember to log into and update. No, it integrates directly with the core software that title professionals are already using every single day, like the systems you see here. That direct connection is what makes the automation so reliable and so powerful.
So we know how it works, but let's talk about the why. Why does this matter so much? Let's explore the real-world value of bringing this kind of clarity to the closing process. I mean, the impact of the shift is just profound. This slide says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you have the before, just a tangled mess of anxious clients, constant phone calls, and a total email overload for everyone. But then look at the right, the after. Clients are reassured because they're getting automated updates, the workload for the professionals is actually reduced, and all that stressful uncertainty, it gets replaced by real-time clarity.
And hey, this isn't just a hypothetical. As one operations manager put it, there's just immense value in this approach. You create a better, more reassuring experience for your clients, while also freeing up your staff from having to constantly answer those "where are we at" phone calls. It's a classic win-win situation.
Now, these automated updates are a huge leap forward all by themselves, but they don't exist in a vacuum. They're actually part of a much bigger trend, and that's the move toward creating a single, integrated platform for the entire transaction. Okay, so here's the crucial point. Communication is just one piece of the puzzle. The real goal is to create a central hub, like you see in the middle of this diagram. A platform like this pulls in absolutely everything: ID verification, payment receipts, signed documents, data from other systems, and puts it all in one secure place. So instead of information being scattered all over the place, it's all managed from a single, integrated engine. And this quote really gets to the core vision behind this whole trend. At its heart, a real estate deal is about the movement of two things: money and information. The big idea is to stop treating them like separate streams and instead manage them together on one secure, unified, and transparent platform.
So what does this all mean for the future of how we buy and sell property? Let's distill the key takeaway from everything we've looked at here.
All right, the big idea is this. When you bring money and information together onto a single platform, you directly solve the three biggest problems in the closing process. As you can see, this unification leads to clarity, which reduces all that anxiety, security, which protects against fraud, and efficiency, which saves everyone a ton of time and headaches. This really is the blueprint for the future of these transactions.
So let's end on a bigger question. We've been focused on real estate, but just imagine. What if every complex multi-party transaction, from legal settlements to huge corporate deals, had this level of built-in transparency? What would that change? It's a really powerful idea, and it's one that's quickly becoming a reality.